The biggest cop out in the world that I hear from the estranged adult child community on this platform is that they don't owe their parents anything. Yes, I'm going to say it. Yes, you do. You absolutely do. You owe your parents for bringing you into this world and keeping you alive. You owe them for the love they gave you, the caring they showed you.
Let's step back into reality here and talk about how children don't owe you shit for being born because they didn't ask to be here. The decision to have a child is made entirely by the parent. It's not some noble sacrifice. It's the fulfillment of personal desire. I want to be a mom. I want to be a dad. I want to have children. I want to have a legacy. Whatever the reason, it doesn't come from the child, it comes from the adult. And as the parent, it is your responsibility to love them, clothe them, shelter them, care for them, both legally and morally. And that's the bare minimum. That's not a favor to them. That is something you took on because you wanted to. And if you didn't want to, and yet you still had children, that's still not their problem. They still don't owe you. Imagine giving someone a gift and saying that they owe you for it. That's not a gift, that's a transaction. Parenthood isn't a loan with interest. And if you're doing it in the hopes of getting paid back later, whether through devotion or praise or whatever, then you're not really giving. You're investing in control of another person. Imagine wanting to do something and choosing to do something and then telling someone else that they owe you for you doing the thing that you wanted to do. Make it make sense.
There is no one that hates a regretful parent thread more than a parent. It's as if you are saying to them, I regret you having your kids. And it's like, my goodness. And I will say it's usually moms. I'm not trying to hate on moms, but you don't really see dads in the comments being like, you'll never know a love like the love of a child. You don't know love and care and this and that until you have a child. You don't really see dads doing that. You see it a lot from the mom community. And it's like, no one is saying that you should be regretful or that you should hate your life as a mother. But some people need a forum to say, this is not the job that I want. If I would have known better, I would not have done that. What is so problematic about that? And a lot of them do it, on TikTok, in threads, on Reddit, nowhere that anybody will see it. Their kids will not see a Reddit thread in 20 years unless they go hunting really, really hard for it. Now, yes, are there mothers that are making videos? But yes, most of them are out of frustration. They're coming on this app or other apps and crying, mostly crying out for help. This is so hard. I have no support. But it's like the moms in these threads are like, oh my God, can you believe what the kids will say when they see this later down the line? They'll probably see that their parents were human. They'll see that their mother was a human being and not just a cog in the wheel of their life. Because newsflash, parents are people too, and people have regrets. And again, it's not to say that they think their kids are assholes or they regret them as human beings. It's simply saying that if I would have had the information that I have now, I would not have done it. And I, as a child-free woman, made that decision in large part to mothers being honest with me and saying, the life that you're living, traveling, doing things you want, upgrading your education, doing all of the things for you, keep that. I probably would have had a kid years ago if I didn't have people in my ear telling me, live your life for you. And now I'm just at the point where it's like, I can't stop living for me. I don't want to. Call me selfish. I don't think that's an insult. But I just have to wonder, what is the big issue? No one is making a commentary on you being a mother, on you choosing to have children. It's simply a commentary on their own life and their own experience. So I simply don't understand why it riles people up so much, especially the mothers. And again, I'm not trying to make this gendered, but look around. You don't see the dads in the comments saying some of the wild shit that moms will say to either women that are coming on and expressing extreme regret for the life that they have now that they are parents, or women in the comments, and then they'll get other people in the comments being like, you're terrible, you're horrible, you're this, you're that. And it's like, I thought moms are supposed to be a community. The mom community, and I know this from my friends and I know this from my cousins and people who have kids, can be one of the harshest communities to be a part of. They're judging you. They're telling you what you're doing is wrong. They're on their high horse. They're this, they're that, they're the other thing. Not all moms, of course, but a lot. There are a lot of toxic mom communities. I heard of one. This is a friend of mine. She had a boy child. There was a mom group that would not let her in because she didn't have a girl. You mean to tell me that's community? Please. Miss me with that fucking bullshit. But all of this to say is that women, men, parents alike deserve to be able to be honest about their experience. If you don't like it and you think it is shining a mirror on your life, that is a you problem to fix.
No, I am not giving you a safe place to talk about how you don't want to be a mother and how that's the biggest regret that you've ever had in your life. Unpopular opinion, but I don't believe everything deserves a safe place. I don't know. Eat me up in the comments. I really don't care. Because to get online, like, I can get you're having these conversations like person to person. Like, y'all don't do like on like your mom on the phone with your auntie being messy conversations no more. Like, y'all instantly bring shit to TikTok, and my heart goes out to those kids when they get older, because as much as y'all think y'all hide the way y'all actually feel, them kids feel how much you don't want to be a mother. I don't care what y'all say. That energy of regret that you have is definitely transferring to your kids. And guess how I know it is? Because y'all are making the videos with the baby in y'all hand. What the fuck? I will never make it a safe place online for you to come and talk about how much you hate motherhood, when, in my opinion, there's lots of ways to terminate and avoid. So all of this I regret being a mother talk, please keep it in the group chat.
I regret becoming a mother. I wish I had never had a kid. Now that I know what I know, I wish I could go back in a time machine and not make the choices I did. As a young woman in my mid-20s, these are questions that I think about a lot. Do I really want to have kids? Will I regret having kids? Is everything you sacrifice in motherhood really worth what you get in return? If these are questions and feelings that keep you up at night, I really highly recommend Regretting Motherhood, a study by Orna Donath. I listened to the audiobook and I found it extremely helpful as a young woman who's trying to decide whether or not I want children. The study is written in a very digestible way. You don't need to be an academic to understand it, and you get to hear from a plethora of women who talk about their regrets when it comes to motherhood. I think it should actually be required reading for any woman out there. Follow for more recommendations you don't usually see on Book Talk.
I have received so many messages from moms who want to share their stories because they think it's important that young women out there understand the whole truth of motherhood. And this is one of the messages that I've received, and it's one of my favorite messages. It gives a really accurate portrayal of absolutely loving your children, but also facing the fact that motherhood is extremely challenging. She writes, "Hello, I love what you're doing on here. I'm a mother. I have 5 children, and I was not prepared for what life would be like with kids. Nothing in my life is my own. No one told me that would happen. By nothing, I mean not my time, my body, my bedroom, my bathroom time, nothing. I am touched, called for, cried to, and occupied 24/7. When the kids aren't home, I am receiving calls about them or making appointments for them. I'm worrying about them to a scary extent. Their individual needs are so specific, and I never want to mess it up because I'd be ruining their lives. My thoughts belong to them. I have no privacy and no days off, despite having a loving and supportive partner and family who lives close by. No one told me motherhood would be an endless repeating cycle of grief over milestones, events that did or did not happen, time you do not have, identity loss, false expectations, and how quickly everything goes by. We never have babysitting, so my partner and I never get out alone. We do the best we can with the time we have at home, but I haven't been on a date in 3 years. I miss dressing up, feeling sexy, and being my carefree self. Motherhood is a thief. I love my children fiercely and unconditionally, yet motherhood has single-handedly stolen my life from me, every piece and every part. And this is the guilt that eats away at me when these thoughts pass through. I shove them away, but it is the truth of motherhood. Motherhood is a tragedy for each mother who's loved so much and so deeply she's sacrificed herself. And I feel badly admitting this, especially since I chose to become a mother. How can I claim to be a good mother when I admit it has taken everything from me? If you're a good parent, an attentive parent, an intentional parent, giving your kids your best and your all, it's exhausting, all-consuming, and you still don't feel good enough. If I had advice to anyone wanting to be a mother, it would be this. Imagine your life now, and one by one, take away your friends, your nights out, your hobbies, your self-love, your gym time, your clean house, your career, your body, your dreams, and ambitions. Add in place staying home 24/7, finding a job solely on the premise that it allows you to put motherhood first, messes, people that are entirely dependent on you, are morally and legally required to show up for you even on your worst day, sick days, pressure to stay attractive even though your body just changed beyond recognition, opinions of others, calls from school, sports that steal weekends, love that is so strong it drives you to give up everything else as a reflex. It's love, but it's pain, so much pain.
Parents are 4 times more likely to regret having kids than child-free people are to regret their choice of not having a child. And I'll show you what I'm talking about. According to the NIH, several studies over the last few years show that 17 to 8% of parents regret their choice of having a child. Now, if we look at a study by We Are Child Free, only 4% that said that they regret it. So 96% of child-free people have never had second thoughts. Obviously, these numbers are just surveys, so take that with what you will. But it goes to show that you're not gonna change your mind. Child-free people know that they are correct in their choices. So when people tell you that you're gonna change your mind, you can tell them that statistically, they are 4 times more likely to regret their decision, and they're going to be in way deeper shit than you are.
Did you see that mom that says she regrets being a mother and blames her 2-year-old son for wrecking her marriage and saying that he sticks out like a sore thumb? Check it out.
I ain't sugarcoating shit. I don't want to be a mom anymore. I never wanted kids because I was selfish. I didn't want to give up so much of myself, and I didn't realize that I would have to give up 100% of myself, my soul, my body, my sleep. This is the least fun thing I've ever signed up to do, and I didn't sign up to do it. It was an accident. I can't always show up and be the perfect version of myself with no appreciation. How are all these other moms out here being like, oh my gosh, being a mom is such a blessing. I can't wait to get pregnant with number 5. What the fuck? I hate being a mom. I want to be a dad. I want to go to work, be respected, only have to put on deodorant and like maybe brush your teeth. I don't want to be a mom anymore. Nobody appreciates you. Your kid doesn't appreciate you. I have a 2-year-old. He's wild, crazy, and feral. Every single time we go to soccer, he cries the entire time. He wants to be held. He doesn't even like me. So the fact that he wants me to hold him the whole time during soccer, okay, we're not doing soccer again, ever. When we go to gymnastics, he doesn't look like the other kids. He doesn't act like the other kids. He's a total stick-out, sore thumb. It's fine. I want to give my kid the opportunities in life to do things, to experience things, to go to parks, to be in a sport, to go to the splash pad, to go to a water park. Literally, whatever you want. I'm giving you experiences, and you make them all miserable. You wrecked my body. You wrecked my marriage.
So you blame your kid for ruining your body, for ruining your marriage, and then you're calling him ungrateful when he's only 2 years old, and then you say he doesn't even like you, which I think falls on you as the parent because you should be fostering a secure attachment style with your kid, and if it's an insecure or avoidant attachment style, that's your fault. Okay, honestly, I can't believe you got online and spoke about your 2-year-old child like this. Honestly, be so for real.
My whole life, I didn't want to have kids, pretty much for the sole purpose that I was terrified of what would happen to my body. I was in the best shape of my life and loved myself. It wasn't until I met my husband that I started to question my decision, especially because he wanted to have a daughter. I started to think, would it be worth it to destroy my body to see a little version of my husband and I running around? When he said he wanted to have daddy's little girl, my heart melted and I decided it would be worth it. I very deeply regret this decision today. I've never hated myself so much and my body is destroyed. I gave up everything I ever had and everything I ever dreamed of accomplishing without even knowing it. When I finally got pregnant, I was so sick I had to quit my job. My job, which I loved and went home happy every day, which made me feel so fulfilled. My career was the first thing I gave up. I miss it every day. I felt so worthless my whole pregnancy because I couldn't bring in any money. I started gaining weight when I was pregnant, about 50 pounds. I was panicking every day because I couldn't keep up with staying active anymore. My husband assured me he would help me lose weight when I had the baby. Instead, he went to the gym without me and lost all the weight while I stayed the same. I'm still stuck in the same place a year and a half later, fat and disgusting. When she was due to be born, they took me in for a C-section that left a hideous scar, which my belly hangs over like a shelf. Exercise doesn't help. My flat, beautiful tummy is gone, and instead I have this fat, bulging gut with a giant scar. I'm 25 and my breasts look like I'm 85. They say you meet a new version of yourself postpartum. I hated the person I met. I'm still struggling to shower because I can't stand the sight of myself. I'm living my worst nightmare. I literally have nightmares about my body looking like this. Not only did I hate my body, I hate the person I became. Angry and depressed. Angry at my husband, angry at my baby, angry. It's been over a year and I'm still so angry. When does the postpartum depression stop? I'm exhausted of living this life. Slowly, day by day, I realized my dreams wouldn't come true. I'd never be successful. I'd be stuck as the fat housewife for the rest of my life. Because I'm a housewife now, we're struggling to buy a house on one salary, which has left us to try and raise our baby in cramped quarters. My baby is an honest angel. She's perfect, which makes me feel even more guilty for wishing she was never born. I just miss who I used to be. I miss my body and my career. I miss being happy. I know it's going to be a long time until that feeling comes around again. I urge the women that are having second thoughts on pregnancy to reconsider exactly what they want out of their life before having kids.
Ooh, look at this tweet, y'all. It's a doozy. I hate being a mother. It's one of the biggest regrets. One of my biggest regrets. And nobody can convince me that it's worth it, ever. Ooh, Jesus, take the wheel. And I think we all need to be more honest about that shit. She literally said, I regret being a mother. I regret that shit. And I feel like a lot of y'all, especially y'all child-free haters, feel the same way. But you don't want to admit it. You be all in my comments talking shit, saying weird shit to me. I respect that woman because she had the balls to admit the truth. I don't respect y'all because y'all don't. Y'all like to pretend like having kids is the best thing in the world. Meanwhile, you are struggling, fighting for your life behind that computer screen. Just tell the truth. Tell the fucking truth. It doesn't matter who gets mad at you. If they get mad at you, then they were never rocking with you to begin with. Tell the truth so people who do want children can make an informed decision on whether or not they actually want them, because they'll know what goes along with it.
A lot of women don't want to admit it, but a lot of y'all regret having kids. And it shows, like, real bad. Especially the mothers that had kids at a young age. I feel like every few months there's always some type of trend of like, oh, before I lost my spark. Or before he drained me.
One of the most vile things we do as a society is encourage women to become mothers without giving them the reality of what motherhood is. I think about this a lot because I co-host a podcast about being child-free, and we've helped a lot of women embrace their child-free life in new ways. But when I tell you this post on Reddit fucked me up, this was in the Regretful Parenthood sub, and the subject line was, at bare minimum, I thought they at least loved you. She said, I'm a stay-at-home mom to a freshly 2-year-old. I became a one-and-done mom within 3 weeks after birth because I felt I was instantly sold a lie and wouldn't trap myself further. Already dark. She goes on to say her child was very wanted and she was so grateful she conceived with no issue. But this is where things, I think, start to go awry. She said, I do all the things mom is supposed to do while pregnant. I sung to her, rubbed and poked at my belly, talked to her constantly. And maybe I'm wrong, but all of those things sound like a fantasy to me. They sound like things you do when you dream of being pregnant, not what being pregnant actually is like. And so to cite that as doing all the things a mom is supposed to do is already confusing to me. But I'm trying to reserve judgment. She goes on to say that she hated being pregnant, but she would try to gaslight herself into feeling the love because she knew the hormones would help her, and then the baby shows up. She says that she didn't like being held at first. She rejected the breast milk. She would not do contact naps. She was in pain and she was gassy. She then says at 2 years old, her daughter still has to be prompted to say, I love you, which I think is pretty normal for a 2-year-old. She's demanding. She's constantly getting into anything she can. She has meltdowns within 5 seconds. She's a biter, a clawer, a pincher, a hitter when she gets mad. And overall keeps getting brattier and brattier. And then she says, we don't do iPads, and she gets an hour of screen time a day. Miss Rachel receives more excitement than the slave she has in me. And this is where so much resentment starts coming out. And honestly, I don't blame this mom. I blame the society that taught her that being motherhood was going to be something completely different. She said she used to be a baker and a cook, but her daughter doesn't like anything she makes. She goes on to say that her mom wasn't a great mom. She was just selfish and entitled, and she didn't want to be like that. She gives so much love so freely and doesn't expect her to give anything like I was expected to give in return. I just don't understand why she doesn't have a want for me at all. I didn't have a child to fill a void like my mom. She ends the post talking about her and her husband and said, we wanted children so we could see the joy in life from a new set of eyes and give everything he and I lacked growing up. I thought the love was a bonus. I thought they just inherently loved you. I thought they inherently wanted to make you proud. And I don't feel like I should be the person saying this because I'm not a parent and I will never be a parent. We should be honest with people about this life choice. That nothing is inherent in motherhood or parenthood. Your child could be born deathly ill or develop an illness or an addiction along the way. They're not guaranteed to outlive you. They're not guaranteed to love you or take care of you. Choosing to be a parent means choosing all of those hard things, even if you don't get anything in return. And yet for some reason, I feel like we teach people the exact opposite. Have kids, don't have money, it will work out. You'll figure it out. Other people have figured it out. You're pregnant, is it a boy or a girl? As if the baby is even guaranteed to be a boy or a girl after birth. But the worst thing we do is tell people to have kids because it's the only way to experience true love. Because that is not a guarantee. And to enter into parenthood with that expectation is dangerous and irresponsible, both to yourself and to your child. I don't know, am I crazy? Like, why don't we teach people what parenthood is really like and then allow them to make an informed decision? If you know everything going into it and still say, this is what I want, I'm called to be a parent, then awesome. But the fact that we just dupe the majority of society into doing this wild thing with crazy expectations will never make sense to me.
I was not prepared in motherhood to constantly have to find the patience. Like, I have to find the patience all hours of the day to do everything and anything because no one told me how fucking taxing it is to hear someone say you're fucking, my God, stay up. No one tells you how fucking taxing it is to hear someone whine or cry or say mama, 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 mama all the time, 24/7. Like, there's no way to mentally prepare for your brain to handle that. And on top of it, all you're trying to do is things for them. Like, you're trying to make food, or you're trying to get dishes done so that you can have dishes to make more food, or you're cleaning laundry, or you're cleaning up a mess or something. You're constantly doing something to care for the house or for the child or for the children or kids or animals or whatever. And then they don't see that. They only see the fact that you're not paying attention to them, so then they want more of your attention. And you're like, I'm already giving you all of my fucking attention. I know you don't realize it, but I am. And you're running on fumes, and you just need 5 minutes where you don't have someone saying something, making noise. Like, the auditory overload is insane. And then it's like, what sucks even more right now is, like, I don't have my car, and so I feel so fucking trapped And my husband, like, he works so hard for our family, and so he's finally gonna do something he hasn't done since we've been together, which is go hunting. We've been together for 5 years, and this man has talked about it all 5 years. Like, he's finally gonna go. And all I can think about is how I'm gonna be solo parenting for a couple days, and it's not even that much, but it's just like, I want a break. And I know that he gives me, it's not him, it's not my husband, like, he gives me breaks and stuff, but I just, like, you can't ever just take a day off of parenting. Like, you can't just go like, I need a sick day, I'm gonna take a mental health day, I'm gonna take a day to recharge so that I could be a better mom tomorrow or for the next fucking month or 2 months or 3 months. You can't do that. And it's like, yes, I could ask my mom for help, or, you know, like, I'm lucky enough to do that, but realistically, as parents, like, until you're doing it, you don't realize how fucking hard it is. And I'm just taking, 2 minutes and 30 seconds and counting to myself, and I feel so much guilt because I know that I left my baby in her crib to sit there and just, like, chill for a second because I'm overwhelmed and I need a minute and I needed to vent and get it off my chest so I have the patience to make it through the rest of the day if she decides not to nap, which is what it's looking like. And I hate this narrative online where you go online and you see all these people getting all this shit done all day, every day, and I'm like, how are you doing it with so much fucking patience? Like, I don't have that. I'm trying really hard to get it. I'm just, like, overstimulated all the fucking time. And it's hard. And it sucks. I feel better now that I talked about it. Alright, I'm gonna stop being a pansy. I'm gonna go pour myself a fucking Dr. Pepper, and I'm gonna get into my kid's room again, and I'm gonna go, you ready for the afternoon? Maybe let's go outside and get some sunshine. Let's go play with the dog. Let's play with chalk. I don't know. Maybe I'll just fucking get popsicles out and make everybody happy, because it's not for the weak, and I just wanted you to know that. If you're having a hard day with me, we're gonna get through it. It's just a fucking day. Tomorrow we'll be better. We'll have more patience. It'll be smoother. Naps won't get messed up. But today we're in the thick of it. And that's okay.